Hey man, this is Bryce. So looking at all the pics of Trump and everything that's happened, I mean, he's making the Bush administration like Ivy grads. I mean, I just don't understand just the we don't give a fuck attitude. We're just going to just rip apart the country for 48 years, and y'all can have it back. It's just astonishing to me. I just don't understand it. And what I mean is, I do understand, but what I don't understand is just how perplexed things can be on that. It just boggles my mind. But real quick point. What is your opinion, I guess, of 2020 and 2018, of what do you think, will happen on the progressive front in terms of who we can vote in, who can be the next president, and who can kind of turn around the, madness. And also, one quick question.
Yeah.
Do you think that a market crash that I believe is going to happen, do you think a market crash is going to derail Trump's administration because, the country's going to be at a pretty free-for-all, and a lot of things that he would want to do, he might have to either put it on hold or he can't get accomplished because the country is, in chaos, basically, in terms of financial markets.
Yeah, so great question, man. I'm glad you asked that. So here's honestly what's going to happen is they're still going to be able to get stuff done. We like to go underneath this theory that if a major event happens, which it does underneath every administration, that is going to prevent the administration from getting their domestic policy accomplished, like 9/11 and with the economic crash of 2007, 2008. That may be the overarching theme of that presidency, but that doesn't preclude that administration from getting other stuff done. When you have Jeff Sessions, Scott Pruitt, Dev Ross, that's her name from now on, Dev Ross, Ben Carson, you have people who finally have power and position and the ability to destroy the agencies that they hate. I don't care what kind of crash it is. I don't care what type of international action that happens. They are going to, did I say Jeff Sessions? If I didn't, let me say it again. They are going to do everything they possibly can to rearrange America to match their wet dreams. And they have a wet dream of a conservative America that is focused solely on quote unquote Judeo-Christian values socially, on a quote unquote free market. And I'm doing quote unquote because their values are neither Judeo-Christian nor do they have an actual free market, but they're going to say that bullshit just so that they can get all the shit done that they want to get done. It's neither going to be moral or a free market. Sorry. But the point is, their heart's desire is to do nothing more than to completely finish undoing the New Deal and to make a world that matches their dystopic dream. To them, it's a fantasy, right? To them, it's a utopia, right? But to the average American, it's going to be quite a dystopic future, or dystopic, depending on who you ask. And depending on these Supreme Court picks, that's going to determine how long we're going to be stuck with this, because there's the Supreme Court picks are really the things that are going to stick with us for generations to come. That's all I'll say. I wanted to say that there's nothing that these people can do in 4 years that can't be undone in terms of like these cabinet appointees. That's not necessarily accurate. They can be undone, but probably at great expense, great hurdles. It's going to be very difficult to undo it. It can be undone, but I don't want to make it seem as though it's something simple to undo 4 years of idiocy. But those Supreme Court picks, that's what's going to stick with us for a generation.